So I always encourage the patients, go ahead and call the service and let them know what you're experiencing, because these persons are getting paid. Let them know what you're experiencing, so that way, they can go ahead and find somebody else who is better suitable for the job. Because it doesn't make sense you're going to be going to a person's house that you're supposed to be helping, and if you're not helping them, what is the sense you're going there? Too much people that road need work, so don't go there and take up space in a people's house. All right, so I am heading over to see another patient. So this patient, I saw her a couple of weeks ago. She lives with her cat. Yeah, she lives with her cat. And she doesn't have anyone to help her at home. So she apparently moved to another state to live with her daughter, but she says that her daughter just got up one day and just left. So she ended up coming back to the state here, and now she's alone, still alone. So I am gonna see her because she has been complaining of swelling to her legs. But the thing about some of these patients is that they will complain, you'll see them, you'll do the orders, they'll get the medications, they don't take it, but expecting good results. I don't really understand how it works, but yeah. So she has been complaining of her leg swelling. I did a referral to her, see her cardiologist, because her legs are grossly swollen. She has a little bit of crackles. So I had started her on Lasix. The last time I spoke with her, she said she doesn't have anyone to help her to, go and get into the hospital. So I really don't know what to do. You'll try to get social workers to help, but at the end of the day, not much is being done for these patients, honestly. Not much is being done for these patients. So I don't know. So I'm going to see her again to tell her basically the same thing. Sometimes they do have friends that comes over that I always encourage them to, ask their friends to help out with transporting them to some of these appointments. Sometimes they have persons who buy their groceries and bring it. And I'm not talking about Uber service or a Lyft service. I'm talking about friends. So I always try to encourage them to go ahead and ask these same folks to help them with getting to their appointments, because they definitely need to be seen. So that's just it. So I'm gonna see her and see whether or not she started her medications. Last time, as I say, when I checked with her regarding her medications, she said she hasn't gotten the medications. And some of these patients, they pick, choose, and refuse what medications they're gonna be taking. They pick, choose, and refuse and leave out some of the vital medications because the medication make them, urinate a lot, which I understand it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, it is something that is benefiting you. So we need to still find the time to take these medications, because it is what is going to help us with all of our symptoms. So she never took it. She said she didn't get it. So I ended up calling the pharmacy, which confirmed that she was the one who signed for it. So she signed for the medications like 3 days after the order was placed. They delivered it. So I don't know what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna see her, and then from there I will definitely give you another update as we go along. And thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the Think Nursing channel, where it's all about nursing, travel, and lifestyle. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in and making it the Think Nursing channel. All right, so let me find a parking spot, and I'm going to just go ahead and... So first time I was coming around this place, I was totally confused. They're saying that every time persons are supposed to be coming here, they cannot seem to find the address. So GPS will go ahead and tell you one location, and then when you try to find that location, you cannot find it. You cannot find the home because it is one different address. right, so what I do is I'll go into the home and I will see the patient, and then I'll come back and dictate before I leave, so that way I don't forget anything. And when I dictate, I tend to find that I do more than when I used to do the regular free texting. Not really texting, but typing. So I'm able to cover more because, you know, I talk a little bit fast and I tend to remember a lot of things that I say. All right, so I'm gonna go in and see this patient, and then I'll come back and tell you how that went. All right, so I went in and saw the patient, who is in a good mood today. Yeah, he's in a good mood today, but is more concerned about, you know, the caregiver. States that the caregiver does show up for work, and this is a lot of times, you know, I find out that most patients have the same issue. So I don't know what is the job description for these caregivers when they do come in. So you'll refer them to home health, or, you know, for home health service, and they do go ahead and provide these patients. Some of these patients are bedridden or, you know, bedbound. Some, they are in like a motorized wheelchair. They're not able to do anything, or motorized chair. They're not able to do anything much for themselves. I need my lip gloss. Stop looking at my scalp. All right, so they're not able to do much for themselves. And so we will refer these patients to get like a home health aide coming in to see them or help them throughout the day. Some come for like, you know, 5 hours per day. Some are like 4 hours. So it varies. All right. And so a lot of the patients tend to tell us that, you know, the caregiver comes in, they don't cook, they don't clean, you know, and then I am there wondering, what is it that they're doing? This one is telling me, this patient is telling me that her caregiver comes in, sits on the phone and be watching TV all day. I'm not saying that all caregivers are the same, but a lot of times, you know, this is what they report. For her, she says that her caregiver is supposed to be there like, say, 4 hours per day, right? 5 days a week. And the caregiver comes, she doesn't clean up. I understand that some persons are not accustomed to animal, because she has a cat. Yeah, man, she has a cat that sleeps on a mattress, and the cat pees on the mattress. So the place is smelling like urine. But even so, I think there are certain things that we are still able to do to assist these patients when we go in to see them. You know, there are certain things that we're able to do for these patients. So not because, you know, they are, let's say, quote unquote, the not the cleanest of patients, you know, in terms of what they can do for themselves sometimes, or the fact that they have animals, or sometimes, you know, they're hoarders. Not because that's a situation with some of them, it doesn't mean that when we go there to help out, we're not trying to, you know, improve the place. You know, for me, I always tell myself that, you know, if you're gonna go somewhere, make sure that wherever you are, it stands out, it speaks good about you. But you can't expect to be going there for a couple months and be working 4 hours with these patients per day, and at the end of the day, it's more like, you know, you weren't there. You know, so this patient is saying that the caregiver doesn't do anything. She doesn't want to help her with washing, she doesn't want to help her with cooking, she doesn't want to help her with, you know, cleaning. And I'm like, okay, then so what is she doing? She's not doing anything, and it's unfair. It's unfair because this lady is in a wheelchair and not able to do much. She's not able to do much for herself. So I don't know. And then when you go ahead and report these folks, you know, everybody's thinking about each other's livelihood, because if somebody go ahead and report this patient's caregiver, you hear that, you know, you hear about you doing things, you know, that is not right. But at the end of the day, you're not taking care of the patient. So I always encourage the patients, go ahead and call the service and let them know what you're experiencing, you know, because these persons are getting paid. Let them know what you're experiencing, so that way, you know, they can go ahead and find somebody else who is better suitable for the job. Because it doesn't make sense you're going to be going to a person's house that you're supposed to be helping, and if you're not helping them, what is the sense you're going there? You know, too much people that road need work. So don't go there and take up space in a people's house. You understand? I understand that it is easy money, and it probably is not your family member, but it's a job. A job is a job. So you go there and you put out your best effort and you give your best for these patients. You know, if you're a home health aide, that is what you're going to be doing. All right, let me go and see this patient. I came here the other day to do a visit with him, but he wasn't here. So I'm wondering if he got discharged from the hospital. I was gonna go to another location, but I'm passing by, so they say whenever I'm in the area I can stop by. So I'm gonna check to see if he's home, because I know his phone wasn't working at one point. So let me go and see him, and then from there.